Hey guys, today on Cooking with Chase, we're going to be making kind of an enhanced or refined Greek salad kind of dish. This is a super pantry raid item. We're kind of coming up on just over 2 weeks of a grocery shop, so this is a real raid the fridge, raid the pantry kind of dish. But we're doing some cool stuff. We're going to do some deep fried chickpeas, which are a great garnish. They've got protein in them. They're super cheap. They've got texture. They're really crunchy. So we're going to deep fry some chickpeas for the salad. I'm also going to do a little kind of Mediterranean spice mix. So we're going to toast some spices. I'm going to grind them up in the mortar and pestle. We're going to put those on top of the chickpeas. And then we've just got some cucumber, red onion stuff to go on with the salad. So today, for this salad, we're going to be using red onion, cucumber, lemon, garlic, feta cheese. And then for the herbs, I've got some basil, dill, parsley, and then a little rosemary. And then for the spice mix, we're going to have coriander, black pepper, fennel, oregano, paprika, salt, obviously, and then some chickpeas. And a little bit of feta cheese as well. A lot of this stuff is optional and can be swapped in for other things, but that's what we had, and that's what we're going to use today. So, first thing we're going to do is drain our chickpeas. I just want to show you. I opened up a can. That's totally fine. It's just, for some reason, these had a lot of starch in them. It's like, they're still completely okay. Don't be concerned if your can has that, but you can see how thick that's become. Also, our pantry is just a little cold, I think. But it just goes to show why you really want to rinse off your canned products really well, because that's a little gruesome. Just getting rid of that starch. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to take a couple of these, grab a little plate here, paper towel. My last paper towel. There we go. And I'm just going to drain what we're going to fry today, because I'm not going to fry all these. I'm just going to kind of fry enough for what we need for the salad, which to me is that amount of chickpeas. 3 more. 1 more. Perfect. And I'm just going to kind of pat these dry just so they're not too wet when they go into the oil, right? Water, hot oil, not a good mix. We're going to avoid that. And I'm going to put those off to the side while the oil gets hot. Our next step in Reno there is we're going to toast our spices. So I'll just talk about this for a second. There's some stuff you want to toast and some stuff that you don't need to toast, right? So in this spice mix, I've got the paprika, oregano, and salt, which I very artfully put in this bowl. I was super proud of myself for that one. And you don't need to toast those. Paprika is a toasted spice. It's already been toasted already. Salt, obviously, don't need to toast. And then dried oregano. It's heat activated, but you don't want an intense heat on it, right? I would never think about searing dried oregano. It would just be afraid it would burn, because it's still an herb, right? And herbs are relatively more delicate than spices, which, just so you know, herbs are leaves, spices are seeds. That's the difference between an herb and a spice, if you didn't know. But the black pepper, coriander, and fennel, this stuff really gets a lot better with spicing. With toasting. So just into a dry pan, no oil, nothing like that, and we're just going to kind of, you'll smell it, right? We're not burning it, but you'll smell the essential oils coming out of the spice there. And then we're going to grind those up in a mortar and pestle, combine them, and we're going to dust that over the chickpeas. So while we're doing that, everything's kind of getting hot over there. We can kind of get our salad components ready. So feta cheese, I like it. It's not my favorite cheese. I find it's really salty, right? It can be a little overpowering. So I don't use it a ton, but with Greek food or Mediterranean food, it works super well. The only thing I'll say is, you really, for me, I just really want it crumbled super finely. I don't like big chunks of it. So I just spend a little bit of time and really, want to break that up into a nice, as fine as I can get it, kind of. But it's a cool cheese. It's the exact same as ricotta. It's just been pressed, and then instead of an unsalted water, it's packed in a brine salted water, which is kind of cool. Okay, so I'm happy with that. It's just, I find like you go to this place and you get a Greek salad, and it's just like nothing's chopped up small enough, and it's like you get this friggin' monstrous piece of feta, and like an olive the size of your head, and it's just like, well, what am I supposed to taste here? Like it's an olive the size of an apple, and like this feta is the size of a walnut. Like it's good to chop it up a little fine there, people. Jeez. But maybe there's people who love that. Anyway, that's my rant about feta. I'm gonna need my coffee here. So I can start to smell my herbs. Starting to get toasted. You can really smell the pepper. Right, starting to get some color on them. So this is good. That's all you really need to do. Just gonna get that in the mortar and pestle. Turns the heat off. And what you're looking for here is, pepper does it, is black pepper. See how I can crush the black pepper, and the outer shell of that seed will kind of just break apart. That's a good indication that your stuff's toasted enough, right? So it's also like if you're, like this one's not doing it because I wasn't moving the pan around enough because I was telling you a very long story about feta cheese. And that's okay. It's just that's like, when it breaks apart like that, you know the heat's gone all the way through. It also makes grinding it up a lot easier. So if you're doing pepper at home and you toast it, it will grind up much easier. So I'm just going to grind up these spices. Mortar and pestles are great. We don't use it like every day, but there's no other replacement kind of when you want to use it, and they last forever. Like it's not a piece of equipment that will ever break or break down. So it's one of those buy it once and you're probably going to pass it on to your kids kind of pieces of equipment. And this one wasn't cheap. I think I paid like $80 for it, but it's super heavy bottomed. Like it doesn't move around too much. And it's just a really, really nice piece of equipment to have. And I mean, it looks badass, right? You feel like a wizard when you're using it. Okay, so I'm going to grab a little bowl for our custom Mediterranean spice mix. Which, by the way, if you have just like Mediterranean spice mix in your cupboard, then just use that. In here. Then we're going to come over here, and we're going to add the oregano, paprika, salt into that. Just give that a little stir. Okay. And then I'm going to, just because I have it, and rosemary to me is just like, reminds me of like Mediterranean food. I'm just going to take a sprig of rosemary, chop that up pretty fine, and mix that into the spice mix there. And do that thing that rosemary always does where it just flies off. Get into a feta cheese. I want to go pretty fine with this, just so it sticks to the chickpeas. And this is just too wet. Like if I had hung this rosemary out, which you can do with herbs, you just tie them up and hang them somewhere in your kitchen. Eventually they'll dry out. I could have used this and like put it in the mortar and pestle, but it's too wet. It just would have made like a paste, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like a nice dry herb kind of blend. So I think that'll pretty much probably stick. Probably chop it a little finer, but again, we're cooking at home. Okay, so we've got our nice kind of custom Mediterranean spice blend here. Give it a little taste. Tastes like the sea. No, it tastes like fennel and coriander and black pepper. It's actually really nice. Okay, it's gonna be delicious. Alright, so let's see if our oil is hot enough. Which I don't have a gauge, so I'm just gonna drop a chickpea in the oil and see what it does. Oh, it's absolutely hot enough. That's great. Yeah. So I'm just going to kind of drop these in. It's a little bit at a time. A little hotter than I want. Okay, I can pull it off the heat. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the chickpeas. Perfect. And that's aggressive bubble. That's hotter than I expected it to be, or well, not expected, I guess, but wanted it to be. So I'm just going to pull it off the heat. The chickpeas are going to drop the temperature of the oil, right? No need to panic. It's just hot food. And then turn down my heat a little bit. And once the bubbles calm down, so Ty, if you want to come over here, like that's where I want my bubbles. Kind of just a nice thing. Once they're back to where they are, I know my oil has dropped temperature, right? So now I can put that back on the heat, and I'm all in control of this, right? But that instinct when you put something too hot in the oil, it's like you don't need to freak out. Just pull it off the heat. Nothing's going to explode. Everything's fine. You know? And now I'm happy. Just going to let that chill over there. Maybe get a little stir. Nothing sticks. And you're going to see some shells, some husks of the chickpeas pop off. That's fine. That's just as they soak, that outer shell just kind of naturally wants to come off, right? And these take about 4 or 5. I mean, depends on how hot your oil is, but about 4 to 5 minutes to really get nice and not cooked, but toasty. That's what we want, like something that's really crunchy, right? Back there. So while it's happening, we can kind of build up the veg for our salad. So I got a little Humber here. And we're going to just kind of chop it into our nice organic shapes that we talked about for our roast veggies and carrots and probably 5 other videos that we've done.
Do you want to explain to people why you call them Humbers?
I don't know why I call them Humbers. I just always call them Humbers.
Because that's also what Quinn calls them.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
I don't know. I didn't know that. That's so funny. Well, Quinn, you're a genius. I love calling them Humbers. Does Quinn call them Humbers? What a cute kid. Right. Just gonna rule the world one day. We'll all be working for Quinn. Okay, so that's about enough. That's about enough. Yeah, there you go. That's good. Okay. As I continue to cut, just rambling on about Quinn and her ruling of the world. Because again, you can obviously do enough for however many people are feeding, but there's like just 2 of us in these videos. Like we're making all this food, and it's like just me and Tyler. It's like I'm trying to make all these dishes, and we can't have any leftovers because we just have like another video to do. So it's been a real challenge, guys, to like make like a portion of something. I'm used to making for like 50 people. Anyway. Okay, these are getting kind of close. You can see they've kind of broken apart and split, and they're getting nice and crispy. I'm just looking for a touch more color. So probably another minute on those guys, and then we'll drain them. Gonna get a bowl ready. Oh, we don't have any paper towel. Oh, I spilled water myself. Oh god, fall apart. 1 second. I haven't shot a video in a couple days. It's falling apart here, guys. Just pulled a bowl out. It was soaking wet. It was my fault. I washed it and put it out there so our kitchen looked clean. I've got all over my white shirt. Someone's going to be putting beads around my neck soon. Okay. Alright, so we got our cucumbers chopped. We're going to get our onions sliced up here. These giant red onions. That's all they had at the store. They're beautiful. So. There. See me chop onions. Probably more than you'll want to see. I should get rid of that. I just like, you know, like I like just like a nice big piece onion. If you want them smaller, chop them smaller. But I like when they're just kind of, I think they look pretty. That's like. That's what I want chopped. Put those into the salad. Throw those out. Check on our little chickpeas here. Oh yeah, okay, so I'm happy with these. So I'm going to pull these chickpeas out. I'm going to use a slotted spoon. It'll be a lot more efficient. For those. But these chickpeas are great for like a ton of stuff, right? Like I said, they're really cheap protein. You know, they're crunchy, so like I imagine kids would like them. I mean, adults like them too, but I also imagine kids would probably enjoy And we're not going to toss this oil, obviously. Like, it's super clear. Just put it off to the side, let it cool down, put it in a jar for later. Grab a little bowl for my onion scraps here. So I'm going to throw all this in for now. Okay. Alright. And then we're going to get our spice blend on our chickpeas here. So I just wanted to drain the fat a little bit. But you want to do this when they're hot. And obviously this is way too much spice blend. That's okay, now you just have leftover homemade Mediterranean spice. But be generous with it, right? These are kind of the flavor bombs of the these are the flavor bombs of the salad. Be good on there. Let's give them a little test. No, could have fried them a little longer, I think. They're good though. They're just not as crispy as I want. Just fry yours a little longer than I did. They're still really good. Just, I wanted them really crunchy, and these are like crispy. I can't put them back in the oil because the spices are on them. That's what you get for not trying food. Ooh. Okay, so we're back. Our camera got a little hot there. Hot in the kitchen. So we just had to stop filming for a minute, let it cool down. So we were back. Chickpeas toasted. All of our mise en place, everything ready to go. Got our quin humbers and red onions all sliced up here. So we're just going to build our salad, and then that'll be it. So the garlic is definitely a component, as I said before, but I'm going to stop saying that. I'm going to stop saying I said this before, because I've said all of this before. I'm not a huge raw garlic guy. Some people love it, and if you do, put more in. I'm pretty... I just find it quite super strong. So what I like to do is just a little microplane, and I'm going to put like for two portions, I would put like half a clove of garlic for me. And the microplane is nice because it goes so fine, it almost becomes like a puree. Perfect. So like that's as much as I would want, teaspoon of pureed garlic, something like that. Is as much as I would want in my salad. Then we're also going to zest a lemon here. And then we're going to juice it for the dressing. The dressing for this is just lemon juice and olive oil. Real simple. Okay. Natural juices from the cucumbers, humbers, and onions will come out. The feta cheese will wick out a little bit of that liquid as well. So you don't need to go. Keep it simple, Got really nice flavors in here. Got the zest of one there. I'm just going to start with half of a lemon, see where we're at for acidity. Pull out that seed that I just put in there. Perfect. At this point as well, I'm going to add the feta cheese. Just through here. And I think I did pull it enough. That's about 2 tablespoons-ish. Right? If you like feta, put more feta in. Again, these are just guidelines. I'm going to get you guys inspired. Make it your own. Salt, and then olive oil. And don't go heavy on the salt. Cause the feta is quite salty. But be generous with your olive oil on there. And then, no, we didn't have a video yesterday, guys. I'm sorry. It's hard doing 5 a week. I'm not gonna lie to you. And we just didn't get to one. Right? Happens. So, kind of my little apology, but I'm gonna do a little fancy plate for you guys. I know it's only Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's not Friday, but we're making the tweezers out today. Oh, this dish also is gluten-free, obviously. So for all them celiacs out there, the Dawsons and the Brits of the world, it's a great dish for you. So At this point, if you had tomatoes, we just don't have any fresh tomatoes. Tomatoes would be fantastic in this, obviously. If we don't, we're not like a huge olive, I'm not a huge olive guy, so we just don't have olives. You could throw in some olives. Just with olives, again, it's like the feta. They're brine, they're salty. Just counteract your salt accordingly, right? To kind of build it as it needs to be. So, get a little bowl here. Just going to quickly taste one of these numbers for seasoning. Okay. Looks like our camera's getting hot again, so we'll be coming right back for plating. Hey guys, we're back. So we're still figuring out the camera here, right? So we're not experts. Anyway, so we're just going to quickly plate this. So we got our everything ready to go. We got this beautiful dish my mother got me. We're just going to try to kind of plate it nice, right? So you can plop stuff in the middle, but you can also think about plating things on either half, right? So I'm just going to kind of plate this on one side here. Getting that kind of laid out all nice. I'm just doing a little half moony deal here. Yeah, just trying to kind of build some height, keep it light, right? And then we're going to go and start building up a little herb salad on top. Herbs stick to the paper now. Yeah. So I've got some kind of dill here. Works really, really nice. We've got some fresh parsley. And again, just kind of like leaving the leaves whole, right? Like, if you had some spinach, you could throw in this too. That'd be great. I'm just kind of filling in the holes of this little salad here. Okay. We've got some of our basil here. Just kind of start tucking in some basil on top of this. And kind of like tucking the stems into the salad. So you kind of get this nice like basil leaves kind of coming out of it, right? Going crazy here, something like that. And I know there's already onions in there, but just for some acidity and for some color, I'm going to take some of these pickled red onions that we, some videos on. You can kind of drape a couple of them. Just kind of tuck them in there. Some little spots. You eat with your eyes, right? And I know we're not in a restaurant or anything like that, but it's just a little kind of cool showing people you really care about them, right? When you spend the time to put it on a plate, a lot of wow factor. I'm just going to grab a spoon here. Okay, then we've got our fried chickpeas. We're just going to kind of nestle in. Oh, this is going to be a great sentence. We're just going to nestle in some moments. Some happy little chickpeas. I feel like I go Bob Ross when I plate. I'm looking at this now and I almost liked it without the chickpeas on top. Maybe I put them underneath the herb salad, kind of as like a little textural surprise a little bit. But you learn stuff, right? I've never played this dish before. So we're just going to kind of go like this. There we go. And I'm just going to hit this with just a touch more finishing olive oil. Like that, and that's it, guys. So this is just a fancy Greek salad. Fry some chickpeas, put some cucumbers together, make something look pretty, and that's a real nice looking plate. Okay, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. New videos every Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments. And as always, stay home, stay safe, eat well. Thanks.